like any club. Like they're not going to make decisions just for the fans. And if a football club did that, it's going to go left. They've made more unpopular decisions. To a degree, unfortunately, it's probably water off a duck's back for a footballer and a manager. So they're probably just going to keep it moving. I do wonder if Madueke is thinking, oh, you know what, the fans don't want me here, blah, blah, blah. But then his attitude just screams that, okay, I'm going to score at the Emirates and I'm going to and even the hashtag,
He's
I don't know how many
his
people.
ear, man. He's going to
do. He should do. You should tell every Arsenal fan that's doing all of this, not the ones that don't want you, the ones that are doing too much, to suck their mums. If I'm completely honest with you, like they should do that. Like he's a nice guy. Like, and it is annoying. Like you're seeing 2,000 people apparently signing that petition. There's millions of Arsenal fans, thousands going to be in the stadium, and they're going to be supporting you and whatnot. And football's a fickle game. Half the people slagging you off are going to be celebrating if you score, and half of the people that diss you, they see you in the flesh, whether they rate you or not. They're, oh, Madueke, can I get a picture? That is what is going to happen. Like it's jarring. I do think what you said there. Just don't sign these rejects really at Chelsea. Not even rejects, but just don't sign mediocre players. And I do think a lot of it is because of the fact that we don't want this signing because we want other things. I don't think it's fair to Madueke, but you know what? That's what happens with being a footballer. And at the end of the day, you're still getting paid. I wanted to ask you on Madueke as well. Some people say he's not going to get a wage increase and all of this. Me, I think that's a lie. You're 23. You're being sold for X amount. If Reece Nelson's on 100K, I'm looking for that. And I don't think your agent's doing his job if that's not the case. But where are you at with that?
I guess we'll know later on, once he actually signs, right? Because it's all just speculation and, reports can be, wrong. But if it's on £50,000 a week now, I don't anticipate it going into like the 200s, for top four sides. It's very rare to have people outside of the £100,000 mark, so that's not considered a high wage for top four teams. So let's see, what it is. I guess the amount of wages he's on, what number he takes, those things will give me a better idea of what his importance to the squad is. If he's
going to get the 14,
if he's touching 14 and 10, we are cooked.
We're in trouble. If I was him, you know what? I might just take it to piss people off. If Eddie can wear 14, I must be able to wear 14.
I mean, we should just hang it up.
Yeah, we should just retire it if I'm honest. I would like Gyökeres to get the 9, but I don't think Jesus is going to give that up. And whatnot.
No, he'll hold on to it, kicking and screaming. Ain't no way he's giving up that 9. I can still do it, I promise. Like, it would break him. Oh no, it could never.
Are some YouTubers facilitating this behavior? Me, I can't talk for no other YouTubers or what I'm doing. I know people watch YouTubers and copy their opinions and whatnot, but I'm always an advocate of think for your damn self. If you're doing something just because someone else is doing, I actually think you're a donut. That's just me. I don't know.
I think that, listen, we all have to. We don't have control over anyone else. And do I think the people that have started these hashtags and this kind of stuff are
faceless accounts?
Yeah, it's like, okay, but these are people, and I know that Arsenal makes you really emotional, but at the end of the day, it is just football. And so you have I do think you have kind of a little bit of a responsibility if you have a bigger platform, but not everybody uses their platform like we do. So I can't tell you what to do, but I do think that they've taken it too far and it's hard to backtrack now. And I would not begrudge Noni if he scored a goal and he had a shirt underneath that said, F you, so-and-so for starting that hashtag, because, it just not cute. Like, I don't like it at all.
Now, I think, listen, there's nothing more I could add to that. Like, obviously, everyone's got a responsibility, and I always advocate for fair praise and fair criticism. I know there's a pylon and stuff, but then I also feel if you're just blindlessly copying any of these big social media accounts or YouTube accounts, and they're doing the abuse thing, and you're following them, you've got to be a prick. Now, away from that negative news, there's 1 minute we're getting Gyökeres, and then there's everything like. Before we get into the whole Gyökeres stalling stuff and everything in between, did you think we'd sign Gyökeres ahead of Sesko? And yeah, that's the first pick.
Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, "Oh, it's Sesko. That's what we're doing," and that was what we were doing. I felt like that was pretty clear at a certain point that he was our ideal option or what we were trying to do. but the fee that they wanted was prohibitive, and really to me,
Extortionate.
like, it didn't reflect where he was now and heavily projected on his potential. And I think that's always what RB Leipzig wanted. They wanted a figure close to 100 million, and they did not want to sell for less, and that's their prerogative. But we need to switch and pivot. And so I'm happy that we're going towards Gyökeres. I'm seeing that Fabrizio Romano just put out an update on it, and hopefully it gets done soon, before the weekend. I would love to know that the striker is done. This is so important, and I've never seen where Nani is so universally disliked and not wanted. I don't think I've ever seen a signing like a Gyökeres type signing that's so divisive, where it feels like there's very clear no, I don't want him, and very clear yes, I want him. And for him, he's gonna have to hit the ground running if he comes. But I'm kind of sad that our first attacking signing potentially is not met with universal excitement, but
You
there's a
said that.
lot.
You said that. Yeah. Let's start there because this tweet comes here as well. Some are saying he's not a better striker than Havertz. Why do you think there's been some sections of football fans? There's a section of Arsenal fans that, yeah, I might want Sesko, I might want Gyökeres, but I just want any striker, and it is what it is. I think there's been a lot of pushback. Some are very upset about us signing Sesko. Maybe they fancy him and whatnot. And I think it's quite hypocritical because you always trust the process, back the manager if Arteta wants him, blah, 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 until it's a player that they don't want. Like, why do you think there's been such a pushback to Gyökeres?
He doesn't fit the criteria of the Arsenal tactical group. They
$1,000,000%.
They want somebody younger. They want somebody where it's not clear who they are, so they can project upon their potential and future. And instead of dealing with who they are right now, with Gyökeres, it's you get him and you're expected to perform right now. There's no excuses whatsoever. But if Sesko comes in, you have Havertz who's starting, who's another one of their project upon what you can't see. Got to squint to see what he is. Like, they like that. And, because they'll tell you that you don't understand football if you don't get Havertz. Sesko would be the exact same thing, even though I really rate Sesko. But it would give more leeway for things, if they don't go right, for there to be an excuse. Gyökeres means there's no excuse. And he's also not the most aesthetically pleasing. And he's rough around the edges, and I think they have an ideal person or an ideal profile that they feel like we should be going after. But in reality, good teams still go to other options when they need to win, so I think this is the right direction to go in. This whole idea that he's going to score less goals than a Jesus or a Havertz or whatever, I feel like is overblown and a little bit like, really? Do you really think he's a worse finisher than, no offense to them, but some of the statistically worst finishers in the Premier League? I don't know. I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. I really like Gyökeres, and I would have loved Sesko as well, but this guy wants us bad. Like, don't you guys want somebody that, like, wants you
Leaving his
back?
girlfriend and giving up. I wouldn't give up
Yeah.
millions of pounds, and I'm not going training. The
Yeah.
one thing I'm with you in that I genuinely think there's a lot of Arsenal fans who love the journey, not the destination. It's like being on a plane expecting to land in a hot country, but you never want to land. I like Gyökeres because he's here now. Like, I don't know if we're really, like we said earlier, Madueke and Sesko, it's too much potential. I like Gyökeres because of what you just said and his desire and his age, and it's a different player. I said this with Harry. I think this is, if Pep Guardiola, like, this is Arteta's Haaland moment, in that you're going to have to change your system slightly to suit
Yeah.
Gyökeres, and the likes of Havertz might benefit. At the end of the day, we needed to get one in it. If we don't get Gyökeres, then you're looking at Ollie Watkins, who also not quite to the same level of those two, also fits the system. Just get it done. We've got plenty of players that can be facilitators. We've seen Havertz do it. We've seen Marino do it. Seen Jesus do it. None of them can consistently put a ball in the back of the net. Of course, this comment's right. If it flops, it sets us back. That is the same that it could be said with Sesko. There's no guarantee it's going to work. We just move on.
Can I speak on this, though? I feel like, why? Okay. Gyökeres is going to cost us maybe about 60 million pounds. That's what they're going for. 60 million pounds, 65 million pounds, whatever. Fixed fee. That's the same as like Solanke and players like that. Like that's kind of like the going rate for a striker right now. It's not cheap, so but it's also not 100 million, like that player that has to work. We're talking about half of that potentially. What's stopping us from selling Jesus next summer and going to get another striker next summer if Gyökeres doesn't work out?
Or in that 5-year period, just finding the next Sesko. We
Yeah,
might think what
I'm
could have
like,
happened with Sesko, but we
yeah,
need
I
to
don't
do things
believe
now.
this whole "it's gonna set us back" thing. What do you mean by that? Because the fee is not prohibitive for us to do anything else. We have one striker that we know is most likely gonna leave next summer, and then there's also rumors out now that people are looking at Havertz. So I don't really understand this whole "it's the end of the road if we bring in this player." Now,
Because
if you
their
spend
egos are bruised.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really understand that. Now, Arsenal tend to be the type of club where if we do mess up, we take too long to fail fast, but we should feel like, okay, if it doesn't work out with Gyökeres, we have an exit plan for him. It's something that Berta's really good at. He's good at being able to
Straight to
keep
Saudi.
players on and then get someone else. Like, what are you guys talking about? It's the end. I don't really get it. I don't
Because
get
they
that.
want Arsenal to be in their image. Like they just can't get over the fact that we're not getting Sesko. It's Sesko or bust. Like all the concern. I'm not saying Gyökeres doesn't have concerns, but all of the concerns and praise. Well, a lot of people say Gyökeres can't bang in this league. If Gyökeres can't bang in this league, what evidence have you got for Sesko? And this is someone that believes Sesko would. I'm just criticizing the logic. It's not making sense. Like it genuinely is not making sense to me. It's jarring.
Yeah, 100%. I
People
agree.
just in love with their own image of Arsenal, or like if it's gonna hurt my ego and whatnot. What is this saying? Unpopular option, but I think Havertz will flourish this season playing alongside Gyökeres. Both have different attributes that complement each other. What do you make of that?
I don't think that our best form is going to come with a two-striker system. So, I think if you're buying Eze and you have Zubamendi and Rice, I don't really see a way where we're going to switch to a two-striker system.
He'd
But
have to play in Odegaard's role, surely.
yeah, and I don't really see that. You're renewing Ethan. There's plenty of players that you'll have that can play that position. So, I would like to see Havertz maybe be moved to a squad role, but that's just me.
It has to be like you can be a facilitator. There's games for you, Havertz, but you just can't be the guy. If I'm honest with you. By the way, people, Fabrizio Romano's apparently said Viktor Gyökeres deal remains ongoing, with two clubs maintaining their contact on transfer fee. No chance for Gyökeres to show up for training. He already informed Sporting about that. Only Arsenal. We've got our man. He's a bully as well.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna man.
I think it's yeah, like it's done.
And
You
that's
know?
it. Like we just can't. Like this is it. And then what the frustrating thing is, we need to draw a line in the sand this summer because we've known we've needed a striker for a minute. Going back to the year whenever it was that Martinelli was scoring, we tried to buy Mudryk, so we know we need a left winger. Just get it done now. Like just get it done. Like in previous summers, we might know we need a striker and a left winger, and we might only get one of them. We've left ourselves none of that now. Everything needs to be addressed. Every area. We need to go into the season believing that we were equipped with the squad. Do you actually think we'll get Eze hand on heart? Because we've even been linked with giving them Josh Nichols. I don't buy that for what it's worth. Palace are bumping themselves.
Yeah, I think we will get Eze. I
Out
think
of 10?
huh?
Out of 10, if you had to put a score on it, that like the likelihood of getting Eze out of 10?
Like an 8 out of 10. I
Oh,
think we'll
you're
get
quite bullish.
Yeah, I think we'll get him. Um I don't think we'd go to the lengths of talking to him and doing the personal terms and that kind of stuff, but we were just going to leave him on red. That's not really the Arsenal way. And then, there's a lot of reports that are saying that, we're going to go try to talk to Crystal Palace. Now, how those negotiations are going to go, I don't know. But I also just feel like Arsenal, I mean, Berta watched us at the end of the season. He knows
He
we
looked
need,
vexed in
we
all of
need
them
this.
clips as well.
Yeah, he knows we need this. And so Eze to me is just as important of a signing as, the left wing, because Arsenal desperately need different qualities in midfield that I just don't think Marino is going to give you, or, whoever else can potentially play
Need
there.
better quality, man.
Yeah, 100%. And he wants to come. And if you want to get the fans on side and make a signing for us, that's the one. You want people excited for the season to start? That's the one. You know, if you want to sell a shit ton of shirts, That's the one. You know, it
Glock
just makes
9.
so much sense. You know, so Gyökeres as a maybe this guy too. I don't know. I think I'm being greedy now.
I can't lie. Is Eze a better signing than Rodrygo? Or is Rodrygo a better signing than Eze? I know the name probably tends towards Rodrygo, but like,
What
would
do you
Eze
think?
be a better signing?
What do you think? What do you think is a better signing? What gets us closer to the titles?
I just think Eze.
Really?
And I want to go with my Brazilian boy Rodrygo because it's
Yeah.
talismanic. Not that I care what other teams think about Arsenal, but it would make people go, wow, whatever. We'd have him and Saka. But I just feel with Rodrygo, when I get beyond all of that, I actually don't know what I'm getting. With Eze, I think we have problems penetrating central areas. Even if we sign Madueke and Eze, you know, we assume Eze is always going to play off the left-hand side. He's a level raiser in that regards. And I just feel I know what I'm getting with Eze. With Rodrygo, once I get beyond the fact that he's obviously a quality player, we've seen it, and an opportunity, I don't know. Like, is he going to get the numbers? Like, Eze had a strong return.
I mean, I think what you have with Eze,
Rodrygo can play 10.
Eze is he's used to being in a situation where he needs to perform in order for his team to do well. And Rodrygo's never really been in that situation. Whether he plays well or not, there's going to be other players that are required to, like, that are more required to step up for them to do well. So Rodrygo would actually be having to make a mentality shift. I think he'd have to go from being a piece of a puzzle to somebody that we're looking towards, which is kind of a big shift, where
Got to
Eze
be the
has
big dog.
already been in that situation. Like, he knows that if he does not play well, Crystal Palace are probably not going to win that game. If he's not available, they're in a lot of trouble. So I think mentality-wise, Eze probably fits that mold a little bit more of somebody that could take us over the line. But from a quality perspective, I do think Rodrygo has a lot to give in a position that
100.
we desperately need a starter in. So, yeah, I'm torn because I really like Rodrygo, but I think
Do you think he wants to leave, though? Like, in his heart, do you think he wants to leave?
No, I don't think he wants to leave. I think he's being semi-pushed out in a way. Like, I think he knows the writing is on the wall, you know, so he has to make a decision for himself. If it was up to him, you know, because I think Real Madrid are kind of doing that. We're not going to really just push you out, but we're going to put you in a position where you know you're not wanted. And so I do think he idealistically want to stay, but what's best for his career now? 2 more years at Real Madrid with them bringing in these players. You're Lucas Vasquez. You know, like, is that what you want for your career? No offense to him, but is that what you want? Playing bit part role, never really being seen unless everybody and their mom is injured, or do you want to do something different somewhere else? It's about where his mentality is right now. I think Eze's mentality is already there. Gyökeres' mentality is already there. Where's Rodrygo? Because he can't come to Arsenal and be a bit part. He can't fade into woodwork. We're going to expect you to take us over the line. You know, no, I would not take Pulisic. Let's be real.
Why? That's your guy.
Because he's broken. Like, that guy's broken. He played in the Prem. He can't handle it. And I don't like him. So,
He's going to help you win the World Cup next year.
I mean, are you going to win the World Cup next year?
We got more of a chance than you, Law. I know that much. Brazil were lit.
You sure do.
Going to be the England team.
You better win it.
We're going to get further than you.
Your we is England, by the way. This whole Brazilian thing that you're
I'm both Brazil and England.
It's a gimmick. You're trying to do double duty. You can only.
Do you mean I was born in Brazil? I can't snake my homeland. So I got an affiliation with Martinelli. I used to live around the corner from Gabriel Jesus. He used to tell me I was a good baller, but I injured my knee. Listen, and Liverpool have got involved in the Rodrygo hype. I just can't put my heart towards it. Like, I just can't get involved with it. Just bring me as it.
I mean, yeah, no, I hear that for sure.
Look who else are involved.
Yeah, I know, but Zubimendi, Rice, we've been able to get those players, you know.
Yeah, but
when other teams are interested.
PSG are on to you. You're seeing what they're doing. They can give you more importance and you can swap wings. Man City got Pep. Liverpool just won the league. There are probably some others. I'm not saying we can't throw a case forward, but I can't put my heart through it, Jess.
I feel like you're afraid to get hurt, so you want to.
100%. I support Arsenal Football Club. I love it, but it hurts me. 100%. If I put my hand in fire once and been burnt, just why am I putting my hand in it again?
You're 808s and heartbreaks right now.
1,000,000%. To be fair, I didn't think we'd get Rice. I didn't think we'd get Aubameyang. I didn't think we'd get Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil. Maybe it's a positive omen, but
it's
going to take too much.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like I don't really feel I just want to see us actually try, because a talent like this means that Arsenal would be going up against other teams. And so to me, there's no shame in trying to get Rodrygo and it might like getting rejected, because it's like, okay, well, he went somewhere else. But I would hate for an opportunity like this to come around and we don't even try. So I'm open to the rejection, because I do feel like we'll still get Eze, and that's, Eze and Gyökeres to me is a very positive window. So yeah, I really want this player, but if we don't get him, I don't know if I'll cry. It would hurt if he went to a rival, but we have to try.
And you gotta wonder, like, as much as I like Rodrygo, how much first team football is he gonna get when you've got Gabriel Martinelli? Unique qualities. Did score at Real Madrid.
These unique qualities, is that like your way of saying like he's kind of crap, but like he can run fast? Or
Hey, Jurgen Klopp said he's the talent of the century. I'm just someone on YouTube, man. How can I disagree with Jurgen Klopp?
That's crazy.
Is he a definite upgrade on Martinelli? I don't know. That's why I want to know your thoughts. I'm open to listening. I don't know.
This is getting dark. No,
I don't know. I've seen Martinelli carry Arsenal. I don't know if Rodrygo could do that.
Carry?
Yeah, remember when it weren't cool to, like, now we're lit. Remember when it was just him, Saka, Smith Rowe, and all the young G's? He definitely carried.
I remember Saka and Smith Rowe, and that's why they got a song. I don't remember Martinelli being in that song.
We don't need songs. You name every big game. You go watch Martinelli's highlights. You see the Cities, the Liverpools. He's been terrorizing Trent. He ran Trent out the league. Even last year, for all the criticisms around Martinelli, he did score. Stop me if I'm telling lies. He scored against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. He did bag at Liverpool at Anfield. He did have one of the, in my opinion, assist of the season for Calafiori against Manchester City. I think he's got 2 assists against Man City.
You know what? I would like to live in this world. I would love to be in the world that you're in, because it is like rainbows and butterflies and that.
White rainbows. I don't know about that, but I hear that. I don't know about the rainbow thing. Yeah, what do you make of this? Like, I just saw this as we were talking. It's a long read. I'll just read it out for everyone because I'm a nice guy. Rodrygo currently prefers to stay put and regain his place and will only open himself up to the market if Real Madrid clearly say he can go. The club have not put a price for the player. That is what that said. Someone dyslexic probably read this. It is well known that Mikel Arteta has the Brazilian's name on Arsenal's shortlist, but there have been no direct contacts between either Real Madrid or Eric Gomez, which I think is his dad. What is known is that any move to open the exit door will not have Rodrygo's hand on the doorknob. With a contract until mid-2028, the Brazilian wants to keep his place until at least the end of 2025. The next few weeks, however, will be decisive. With the end of their participation in the Club Cup, Real Madrid have given the squad a vacation and are scheduled to reappear on August the 4th. The La Liga opener is on the 19th against Osasuna, and the transfer window for major leagues closes on September the 1st. Dates that will be decisive in a silent soap opera despite the external shouting. That don't sound like someone that wants to move.
But I think it's also probably why Arsenal are going for another winger. I think they're open to trying to get Rodrygo, but you can't, with a player like this, I feel like you have to make sure that you protect yourself. Like you can't put all your eggs in his basket because he seems a little wishy-washy. And so, yeah, but I think we're there if he decides he really wants to go. I know we've spoken to him. Gabriel basically confirmed that he talked to him, but he has to make the decision for himself. So, and Real Madrid are like, if a good offer comes in, we're going to accept it. So they're basically.
What's a good offer?
I mean, I would probably spend up to 80 million on him. What do you think? That too much?
No, I'd say 80 million. I can't lie. I think you need about 80, probably to 100 for him. I think you're aiming to do it around 80. But then I have to ask you, I do think similar to last season, like we're victims of just not looking at it like this necessarily, but we're just looking at it from the Premier League and we're flirting with success. I do think there's an element of us wanting to get money in. You saw the exits last season. I think there's going to be an element of that. As much as I like Berta for what he's done at Atletico Madrid and his experience and all that stuff that we've spoken about, we've got to remember, initially, he's a footballing man, but he's got a financial background. If I'm the Cronkies, am I going to want to do this? Like, that's what the club have to decide. He's going to cost big money. You're going to put him on big wages. You want to keep Saka and Saliba. Fair enough. Someone like Lewis Kelly ain't earning the most money in the squad, but there's an uptake there. You still got Gabriel Jesus and Havertz. They need